y'all know what it is right here, right now. This is Remix Morning Show, and you are tuned in to Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and let me introduce you to your host today. First of all, we got Dr. Jared Ball, Jockey Lukeman, Burn It Down Kim Brown, and Kalonji Jama Chung.
What's up, good people? Welcome to the remix. Black Power
Rhythm.
Media once again. What
We
was
the building.
that? What was that, Kalonji?
King Kong Rhythm. We got it. We here. What's
I
happening?
thought you were saying King Kong Consciousness as a
Oh
shout
no,
out.
there'll
to
be none of
Dr.
that
Umar.
on here. No
Oh,
sir.
okay.
Only one Umar I respect. That's my son. Shout out to Umar. Yeah,
Shout out to
good.
Umar.
Already.
No doubt.
Revolutionary greetings, all Africans of all shades, proclivities.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
Shout out to everybody born in the year 1982 in the class of 1982.
Okay. Okay.
I was trying to think of something else to add to that, but I got nothing.
I got stuck on the all proclivities.
They got
So
me.
did she.
All of them.
So did she.
All of them. All of them. All of them. With the
All right.
exception of maybe one or two, but yeah.
Hey, Jack,
All of
man,
them. Right.
you missed Jackie yesterday. You know what I'm saying? She was all excited
did.
about Abby O'Doon. She was just like, I thought she was gonna faint over there. She's over there,
I did too.
brow and
I was
everything.
so
Like, what's popping?
excited.
I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, shout out to the real OGs.
No doubt. You know we do.
Man,
It
that
was a
was
great
such an
discussion
honor.
too. Mhm.
Yes.
I'm getting nigrophobia with all y'all on the screen. I catch y'all at the break.
Oh,
All
damn.
right. It was cute.
Gerard.
All right. Well, thanks, here,
I'm
Doctor.
sorry. I'm sorry it's too dark for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jackie, shut up. Gerard, did you hear about the show that's coming to the Kennedy Center in April with your girl Moo Fresh, along with Remy Ma and Yo Yo and Moni Love and all the black femcs by and large?
I did. And I want to say you told me.
Probably.
Didn't you tell us?
Yeah.
You probably did. But yeah, I did. And then I've since seen it on Instagram. And
Are you going? Is the question. Jackie,
I'm not
are you
gonna
going?
go. I'm not gonna go. I just don't, I'm just not, it's just not, but it's not because of them. This is all me. This is just my thing about just being out. But that is very tempting. And Moni Love, you know, she was one of the like a little crush for me once upon a time too.
Hey.
You know, like I had a little love for Moni Love, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm.
And then I just watched her on Drink Champs. I don't know when it came out, so I don't know if I saw it like late or whatever. I can't remember, but she apparently has a podcast with one of the original so-called video vixens. What's her name? Now I just went blank on her name. Anyway, but she's apparently doing a podcast. Everybody would know who I'm talking about if it just slipped my mind.
Melissa Ford. I'm just guessing.
Melissa Ford, Jessica Rabbit. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's exactly
I
right.
was going for Reed Stephens.
And ear doctor came right. Yeah, you both hit it right at the same time. Yeah, with Melissa Ford. That's exactly right.
Interesting.
Who I had not heard from in many years. So that was interesting to see that they have partnered up, and I don't know. Anyway, but anyway, that looks like it's gonna be a great show. Either way, that show to Kenny. Are you gonna go?
I'm kind of on your kind of track. Like, again, COVID's not over. Contrary to popular opinion, the pandemic is still out here. And I attended a concert, I guess it was October, November, and I was not happy with the level of protocol. So no, I'm opposed to mass gatherings in indoor spaces at this particular moment in time. So likely I will not attend. But there is another event at the Kennedy Center that I'm desperate to attend, but I won't for the same reasons. It's going to be Lettucey doing Nina Simone songs. Sounds like, oh my God. I would love to see Lettucey singing Nina Simone.
I want to go to both of them, but I'm just not going to be around that many people in an enclosed space. I'm not. That's just not a risk I'm going to take.
I agree.
See, I could front My bad, Kalaji. I just want to say real quick, I could front like it was an issue with COVID, and I am uncomfortable about COVID. I'm not going to front. It is. I am to a certain, but for real, at this point, I'm just older and bougie, and I need certain levels of comfort.
Oh my God!
Be around all the
like that's really what it is. That's it's the lines, it's the parking, it's the coat check, it's the
Black Power Media. I want y'all to be sure that y'all hear this. Dr. Jared Ball just said he's too bougie for the Kennedy Center. Let's just be clear.
I mean, that's.
I mean, that is funny, right? That is pretty heavy. I didn't think that is pretty heavy.
I mean, it's not just any spot in the Kennedy Center, the concert hall. This is where they have the operas and shit at the concert hall.
And you know what?
Him and his
4%. My 4%. No, that's it. But I honestly, I don't even think I've even been there. But it's just the whole idea of the whole process. It's I just don't, but anyway, I just, like I need certain levels. I need to be comfortable. My body hurts standing and walking, and
him and his 4% cola consciousness speaking.
And in Atlanta,
consciousness.
The parking and shit costs more than the show.
No,
it's not even the cost, it's the wait, it's the line,
it's all the inconvenience before you get
time to get there, all
sit
that
in,
long lines.
And then I think my Larry David side kicks in too. Like there's a lot of he used to do this thing about the stop and chat, where you don't want to be inconvenienced with having to stop and chat with every single person. And sometimes I'm like,
okay,
I don't feel like going through all of that. It's not even that. It's just the.
Are you just too popular? I get it, Jared.
It's not popularity. It's not popularity. In fact, a lot of times it's hostile. My stop and chats are hostile.
Yo, you said Larry David. I got Larry Davis in my head. I'm like, okay, you want to do the Larry Davis? I'm like, do Larry Davis. But Larry David, God damn. Welcome to Black Power Media, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Black Power Media.
Welcome to
Shout out to Larry Davis.
I mean, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about Jared. Jared's too bougie for the Kennedy Center, and Jared routinely gets stopped by strangers with hostility. Like what?
Hostile words.
What?
I heard what you said, Jared.
And it's usually some association. It's usually like, why were you rolling with Kalonji? Why were you talking to Kamal?
Hey,
why did somebody see you teamed up with the ear doctor?
But like, the ill thing about that though, Jay, you're like twice my size, and they don't fuck with me like that. When they pull up on you, I'm confused about this.
It's the light skin. It's the
that's tragic
what it is. Mulatto. It's the suffering tragic mulatto.
They confuse you with Sean King. That's what it is.
Oh,
they be like, there goes Sean King right there.
That's why, yes. Come on, Jared is coming with some light Manila. Sean King is paper plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
yeah, point. Paper plate.
Jarrod, there was a tint to Jarrod. That's why all the Algerians be trying to. All the Algerians shout out Jarrod like, yes, salam, brother. Yes, we recognize you as one of us.
Hey, I did get the local Zanzibar rate, the local citizen Zanzibar rate when I traveled from Tanzania when I took that ferry. My man told me, he said he adjusted my shirt, said don't say anything. And when you get to the front of the line, he said just nod. When they say what they say, just nod. And they said "Dap." And I said, and they were like, sit over there.
Like this motherfucker's slow.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Oh man. So can I show you all something? Oh, my bad, Jackie. Go ahead. I was going to show you why I'm a little giddy this morning, but go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to shout out yesterday. Yesterday it really was a great experience to be just like sitting in the same space with the last poet. That for me, that was just beautiful. And then Kalonji came back with the Riot Starter interview with my national organizer, Ajamu Baraka. And Ajamu said, and Ajamu was all smooth and professional. up until the point where he was clearly getting pissed off, because he gets like that, right? He gets talking about shit and he gets angry, and then he's like, well, I can't cuss. And I was like, oh, he don't know. And then
I was confused.
and then the floodgates open. And I mean, it was a great interview. So, big up to you, Kalonji. And y'all got to check out that interview with John Mubaraka. If you're confused about anything that's going on with Russia, Ukraine, what it means to us, watch that interview. You won't be anymore, unless you just want to be. I mean,
right. Nah, definitely shout out to Jamu. I didn't realize that we had been in the same space. He referenced being down in Macon when my chin hair wasn't gray, which was saddened. It saddened me because I didn't think my chin hair was gray. So I had to go look in the mirror like, oh shit, it is noticeable. But it's all good.
You didn't think that was noticeable.
In my mind, I'm still at 88. You know what I mean? But
it's
I'm
a
cool
sign, man. It's gray is a sign of success, of longevity, of strength. I like mine. I like get more gray. Shit.
Listen,
these youngins wish they could handle it as long as we have Kalonji. They wish they could.
I turned 18 in the Malcolm X, George Jackson University. You know what I mean? And it was days back then that 18 was a milestone coming from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the projects in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And it was a beautiful thing. I was so happy to turn 18 that I didn't give a fuck where I was at. You know what I mean? So with the grades and all that, I mean, I'm OG status. I love that. So I'm just talking that trash, So shout out to all those that been here and didn't come here. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
So, yeah. That's the reality. But anyway, Dr. Jared Ball, it's always an honor to be on here. And I don't know why y'all cats be talking about affiliation with me. Cats be like, yo, man, what's up with that cat Jihad? What are you talking about? Yo, man, I might have to see that dude. I'm like, man, he bigger than he look on the screen, man. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But they don't run up on you too often out this way, though, right?
No. It's really all good. Everything is wonderful out here. It's always a pleasure to be back with the remixer. Shout out to everybody in the chat that I am not seeing, but I see you. I feel the vibe. Shout out to everybody. Big shout out real quick to Black Men Build, who hosted me and several others last night in a discussion about cryptocurrency, my new favorite topic. It was wonderful to participate with that. So big shout out to them and the work that they're doing. It seems very necessary and right on time. And hopefully we'll get time for a little sports segment. I know Ear Doctor is up because I don't know if people saw last night Kylian Mbappe. He was killing them like Kylian last night, boy, with that game against Real Madrid. I'm telling you. Anyway, Ear Doctor back in the theater. Hopefully we can get that in. He's talking about the
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about world football. I'm talking about the most watched sport on the planet. And it was live and direct in Champions League last night. And I'm telling you, the goal that Kylian Mbappe scored last night, this brother here, woo-wee! I literally almost pulled a muscle jumping off the couch when he did what he did last night. It was amazing.
Ear Doctor has the footage. Don't worry about it. Ear Doctor, you're going to yeah. Let's go to the videotape. Warner Wolf. Shout out to Warner Wolf.
Shout out to Warner. What you know about Warner Wolf?
Y'all talk about, man.
I was too busy watching Versus last night. I was watching Anthony Hamilton and Music Soul Child, so I ain't get to get to that yet. But,
wow, that was
sound boring as hell.
I didn't even know that was
good.
And I was listening to Anthony Hamilton in the car this morning.
Listen, I told y'all yesterday. I was like, your boy, Music Soul Child got hits. I mean, he got bangers. He came up in the neo soul hip hop era where it seemed like, what's the name came more over in the gospel soul era, where it was like his music more gospel soul, where you got music has got that hip hop bang to it. So the crowd was into it. I mean, we'll talk about it. Anyway, I'm gonna do a recap.
I've never been a fan of that
about the show. So
let
me get on to the break.
Already?
That's right. Let's get it.
Early in the show for the hate, but okay.
Hate out the gate remix.
Yo, what's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and y'all are tuned into the best morning show on the goddamn planet. In case you ain't know, you better ask. Hit that like button while you're here, and make sure you hit that subscribe button too. And hit the notification bell so you can know all the dope new shows that's coming up. Yo, we in the movie theater right now. Actually, I'm already here ready. I'm going to the new edition Jodeci Charlie Wilson show tonight. So I'm gonna be in the crowd like, yeah. So I'm already here set up and everything. We about to get it on. But yo, I'm here talking about movies today and certain things that's on TV that's pretty dope. One thing I watched over the weekend that was very dope to me was Bel Air. This new Bel Air drama is dope. I love how they bring it up to date. They got Carlton on opioids. You know, he's going to school with all these different people, and he got to get right. So he on opioids. Your boy come out of West Philly off some murder joint, and he out, man. I'm telling you, it's a great show. Check that out, Bel Air. But y'all. In the words of Busta Rhymes, y'all. I gotta show y'all this one movie that's coming out that I just got to get y'all thoughts on it. It's called Alice. Check this out.
In our gracious state of Georgia, our God-given man, the Lord has offered us domestic lifestyle. We have to go.
Run, nigga, run!
You must hit your head real hard. Do you know you're in Georgia? Do you know it's 1973?
Say what?
Well,
She like, wait a
fill
minute.
this out for me? I don't ride.
I can help you. This is knowledge. We spent decades trying to make a change for the people.
I know exactly who I am and where I came from.
Who are you then?
I'm free.
Free Earth.
How do I look?
Like you.
Ain't no way!
It's the woman you used to own. Alice? You watched us get tormented. It's my turn now. I'm going back.
That's a death certificate.
Doing the right thing. It's never wrong. I'm not scared, and that should scare you.
All right. So, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to let my people come back on and talk about it a little bit. Because, yeah. Right here, the Remix Morning Show, y'all. Come on. Yeah, so I seen this and I said, okay, this
Party
is
and bullshit.
the Django mixed with 100 Years a Slave or whatever mixed with Harriet Tubman.
Juxtaposed with what is it, coffee and
Coffee.
and
Yeah.
What's up with that Bel Air though? Like, why does everything need a Dark Knight remix? Like, did we need the Bel Air to be remixed with the Dark Knight? I mean, can y'all just make a new show? Like,
oh, that's perfect.
Totally different.
Yeah, because
that is perfect.
I think definitely because, you know, even with different world back in the day. Now they got grownish. So you got different drugs, different things you got to deal with nowadays that they didn't have to deal with back then.
But
So
but
I
your
like
doctor, those are different characters. Like, it's a whole different show. Like, why even bring back Carlton and Uncle Phil and get
why is Carlton?
Kim, this isn't about you. This is for the new generation.
Right. So how come the kids can't get new stuff? How come we keep handing down recycled, badly recycled things to
you just see with Hollywood how they do. They don't.
Hollywood doesn't have anything original.
But I mean, but that shit is whack. I mean, you talking about why, you know, as if Carlton's character wasn't crazy enough. You know what I'm saying? Now he got to be addicted to opioids. Why are people always got to be fucked up in the movies? You know what I'm saying? Why can't it come back on some happy shit? Why can't it come back on something where, like, I mean, we're all not addicted. We're all not addicted to opioids. Not every teenager. You know what I'm saying? I think that shit, that's some bullshit. And I think that it's once again, it's the confusion of capitalism. It's like, okay, boom, let's take some shit that we consider good and let's make it worse. But let's do it in a power type framework. Let's do that shit in a way that, because of the fact that they see power and they see all this bullshit and they say, okay, boom, this is what the people want. Let's show us being fucked up. Let's make Will Smith a killer or coming out of a murder thing. Get the fuck out of here. I don't support that.
West, he got in some trouble and moved out. They never said what trouble. That's what I'm saying. It's a good show.
Why must we continue to be abused by Will Smith and his?
That's what I want.
This is just. But just quickly with the other one, I'm glad you said Django, because I saw that trailer before, and I'm already convinced of what my particular critique is going to be, and you can already see part of it right there, because just like Django did, they reduce the struggle against enslavement to an individual one-off evil villain. Right. When even Eugene Genovese, and I keep pointing back out the very troubled historian of U.S. history and slavery, even he pointed out that by the 1850s, Black people were clear that enslavement had to be ended collectively as an institution and had moved as a people from individual escape and claiming of family to collective destruction of the system. And here we are. Now it's going to be said that everything is better in the 70s. And she's so her revenge is to go back and get the one man and get one guy. Right. So that's going to be, anyway. So anyway, this is,
and then it's Keke Palmer,
a mess.
On top of that.
Then there's that. Then
then
the fact that
what is that? Help me out with that part, though. I don't know.
I'll let you
a particular problem with her. Oh, damn, he left.
Thanks, dear doctor. Appreciate
it. That's what I think, and then you did.
There's so much hate. I had to leave the screen over here, man.
Man, listen, man. Your Cisco and Ebert days are dead. But anyway.
But what's wrong with Keke Palmer?
I mean,
just
the whole. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her per se. I'm just saying it's like. I mean, the shit look goofy. It's like, come on, man. I mean, she looking like Pam Grier. Once again, Commons tried it out here as the great Negro. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Do you remember years ago when Sam Jackson was quoted or referenced as saying something to the effect that he did not like all of these rappers coming in and taking acting jobs because there are plenty of actual talented Black actors who don't get the work? Does anybody remember that? Am I making this up?
No, I remember that. Yeah. I remember it.
Anyway,
but that was
makes
bullshit.
Sense. But how many movies? How many of the new generation are gonna watch a movie with Samuel L. Jackson in the lead?
Apparently a lot, because he seems to be in every single thing.
Yeah, I mean, he is the highest paid actor and shit.
But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think Common has more of an appeal, or at least Hollywood thinks he does, has more of an appeal to a younger audience. But like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing, I kind of feel like they didn't want to stick with the storyline with Carlton just being, a conservative Black kid, because of the Trump era. Like, what are they going to do with that? Like, how are they going to have this Black kid, which I think what they did is even worse. But like, how are they going to have this Black kid be, an avowed conservative and not tie him to Trump? or Trumpism. So I think they didn't want to go that way. So I feel like they thought, well, I know, let's
string him out on drugs.
Bring him out on opioids. It's like, how about let's just not do a reboot of this damn show?
Yeah, how about that?
I'll just leave this shit alone.
Yeah.
And use some brain cells and come up with a whole new show. This is what Hollywood. There's nothing original coming out of.
Now that would have been fun. Now I would have actually if they had made a comedy that updated and showed us Carlton working on Trump's campaign. That would have been
better. That I think would have been really great. It would
have been realistic.
See him doing the dance,
but
when Trump
wins. Opioid thing. No.
Carlton be head of the Blacks for Trump committee.
He'd be the one guy behind Trump with the instead of the guy with the
right. CGI him into all the footage behind Trump.
Will Smith is Obama.
And you know what? As far as the original, they did tell us why Will moved to Bel Air. He got into a fight. It's in the song.
Right.
That's all it was. He got in one little fight.
Oh, that's right. Where the dude put him up on the shoulders and spun him around on the intro.
He got into a fight. So that's why. Yeah. So I mean,
fight.
It was just it was a really. I mean, Hollywood didn't need to do, but I feel like they were like, "Hey, we're having a black moment. let's capitalize."
Doctor is telling us to move on because he's mad at all the hate at his shows.
Right. he took us from one extreme to the next. You took us from the Fresh Prince redo to Escape from Slavery, Go Kill Whitey joint. And get the fuck, slap the map. Please slap the map.
Oh, that is funny. Welcome back to the Remix Morning Show here at Black Power Media.
Shout out to Carlton.
Yeah.
No opioids now, boy.
I don't mean to laugh or take that topic lightly, but when I heard him say that, I did laugh.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of Carlton on opioids, like what not that he would anay, just
why is White Frank could be on opioids, man? You know what I'm saying?
Why couldn't they just be? There was
now you got Rob Uncle Phil.
Like, why would they
like a Euphoria reboot? And do you think they're trying to Euphoria-ize the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? For those who don't know, Euphoria is the HBO series that stars Zendaya, and it troubles parents of teenagers. every parent I know with a teenager was like, I hate this show. It is the worst show on the planet. But trying to make it very dark and dramatic.
Because don't nobody want to be thinking like this is what's going on in their child's life. Like, so I mean, so with all due respect to the show and its creators, I admit the trajectory off the break had me traumatized. So I was like, damn. But no, I get your point. But but I think that's a good. I think what you said actually about the Dark Knight is exactly right. I think that is a trend right now where everything has to be Dark Knighted. We got to get the Fresh Prince. I honestly, I didn't even. I think when I first saw the preview, it didn't click until this morning. What they were doing, like how could you be taking it in this direction and why? So like, what are they going to do? Reboot? Like, would they ever reboot like Seinfeld as Daredevil or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Like
Cheers and shit. Cheers and
Seinfeld and everybody is bipolar and not on medication.
Oh my gosh!
Right. And he's all matrixed out.
What was that show with William Macy?
People in the streets.
What was the show with William Macy? The white trash show.
Shameless.
Yeah.
So they're gonna turn Cheers into Shameless now. So I mean, like, get the fuck out of here, man.
I mean, you can't make Shameless worse than it was.
I mean,
but can we take a moment to acknowledge really that over his theatrical career, Will Smith has not really given us much. If we keeping it a buck.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, not much movie-wise outside of Fresh Prince. Of course, Fresh Prince was genius, but, you know, that was conceptualized and produced by other folks. He was, you know, just a star player. I mean, really, I just know that when Will Smith turns 70, he's going to get the Academy Award, Lifetime Achievement Award for greatest actor. And I'm like, this nigga's not really that good of an actor, though.
He's going to give some ridiculous speech that makes no sense.
When they do the montage of his career films, people, I think it will finally dawn on people. Like, I think we've been bamboozled here. Like
oh, this is
where's the great movie in that montage?
Yeah.
Like, where's the classic performance? Where is the
there's nothing.
As himself in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as himself. That one scene he had with James Avery, you know, where he was going on about, you know, Ben Vereen, his daddy wasn't shit, and you know, I don't need him. Like, that
Why don't he want me, Uncle Phil?
That's right. Why don't he want me, Uncle Phil? That was his greatest acting moment ever. He ain't acted.
That was it.
And I hated that particular joint. I wanted to punch that. To me, that shit right there was Cuba Gooding when he came in there swinging and shit.
Oh.
No,
that's what that felt like to me.
I felt Will on that shit. See, you got to be a daddiness person to understand.
I was, but that's a whole nother story.
No father to understand some of that. So I actually respected that scene that he did. So
yeah.
But nothing.
Well,
nothing said.
Yesterday, I showed my oldest daughter a video performance of Jazzy Jeff, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and I specifically told her that this was the more powerful, contributor of the duo. You might know of Will Smith, but this right here.
But this is the guy with the real talent.
This is the first album. The first album with Charlie Mack, first out the limo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That
particular joint right there was the best joint. Folks say Summertime. Summertime was, mainstream.
No.
The first joint right there. That's the album. And I'll listen to that today because of the fact that it had that authentic Philly type sound and vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? It was still hungry right there. You know,
but also as sort of like, it's wild. It turns out to be nice foreshadowing for what we're talking about now, because the point I was making to my daughter was that you may know of a more famous Will Smith, but these two started out together. Will went on to make, I actually said something like a bunch of whack movies, and this guy went on to become the best DJ on the planet. So, recognized the world over as among the best, if not the best, to ever do it. So anyway.
And that is why Grandmaster Jay,
King Richard was garbage, but shout out to Minister Server. Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
It's a server thing.
Shout out to Minister Server. I give him some credit on that Ali joint. And you see more of the real Malcolm X in that movie than you do in Spike Lee's, by the way. Less in terms of time, but more of the actual politics in that movie than in Spike Lee's joint. Anyway, so listen, can I, before we get to the real news that you all have, can I share with you all what just some Pan-African genius on display yesterday real quick? Because I don't think enough of you actually saw this, but you and if you blink, you miss it the first time over. And what you have to understand, this is at the end of the game. They're in stoppage time. A minute left, and he bursts through. The crossover with the dribble. This is Tim Hardaway. That was Benzema. He put his French national teammate on the. So part of it is the end of the game context. Part of it is that he is said to be going to that team in the summer. So the team he just beat at the end of that game is likely to be his new team. So he was likely showing his new fans what they're going to be getting. next summer. So there's a lot of, it was just a very dope moment to come at the end of the game. And
Jared, the way you describe this, like a lot of this sounds like it has like big wrestling energy. You know what I mean? Because it seems like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of backstories, there's a lot of interconnectedness and nationality and team allegiance and whatever. It seems like it's very dramatic. There's a lot of storylines behind this.
The key difference that I would like to think exists is that this is not scripted, and what happens on the field is legit competition.
Okay.
But there are a bunch of backstories. There are drama. There are, and the more you know, there's personal stories between players on each other's teams. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But yeah, it was just a delicious moment. So just wanted to share that with the remixers, because I know, they wait for these moments, Jackie.
I know. I mean, it was fulfilling somewhat in a cultural way.
And anyway, people who may not be aware will hear more about this young man in the coming years, as well as his star continues to rise. He is going to be, if not already, the best on the planet. So anyway,
seriously, I do need to watch.
I want to say,
football.
Is he 23 now? 22? Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
What happened to Balotelli, who the black Italian that used to throw bananas at?
Man. He's still playing. He's at the tail end of his career. He actually got called up to play for Italy recently. So he's still in, out there. But no, I actually feel bad for him. Looking at his story, I want to say Ghanaian origin, adopted parents in Italy, raised in Italy, dark-skinned brother, put up with a lot of abuse, and still to this day puts up with a lot of abuse from Italian fans. He's gone through a lot, and he gets a lot of, and that whole kind of very colonial discussion of him in the sports media. It's a very colonizer discussion. What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he appreciate this? Because people are calling him all out of his name every time he runs down the field, and people are
throwing bananas at him. That's the crazy shit you talk about. I mean, that's that. No racism, baby. Like, do you know how racist
that's
you got?
Old school racism.
Somebody,
that's old school. Colonized colony Alabama plantation racism.
That's why he got from even people on your own team, like people on that were you're supposed to be your own fans. Like this, like not that it's acceptable from the opposing fans, but I'm just saying, it's like, damn.
When they start throwing bananas, I would have been like, look, I would have been on my Meta World Peace. I would have been running up in the motherfucking joint, choking motherfuckers, knocking them out. You ain't throwing no damn bananas at me and shit. You gonna sit up in the stadium and everything's cool. That just ain't gonna happen. So
I have a hard time imagining that either. especially when you're 17, 18, 19 years old. Like, people got to remember, like, these cats are on, like, they start young, and they're on the field at that age listening to that. And I know at that age, my career would have been over immediately. I would have been in all the stands, fighting all the people, swinging on all of them. I mean, it would have just been too much. I just, at the same time, honestly, let me not speak, honestly, because some players go the other way, which is, I think, equally sad. Like, they go into a shell, and I could see, maybe I would have done that, and they can't play, they don't perform, they just disappear, take themselves out physically and mentally. Anyway, I think all responses are understandable, and is my point. And
that was nice, you Jed. Anyway. But we don't believe that shit. We know your ass be ready to jump in the chat.
There's no diplomacy. We're jumping in the stands. No,
please.
No.
You jump in the chat.
Anyway,
I know damn well jumping in the stands would not be off center. You know what I mean? So, shout out.
It definitely would not. There's philosophically nothing wrong with it, for sure. And every time we had a family discussion. I showed Meta World Peace going into the stands, and I said that is 100% accurate and one cosign.
Yes.
What do the politicians say? I endorse this message. Yeah. Anyway.
And this comes from the nonviolent BPM, because we're very nonviolent here at BPM. So we don't want the audience to be confused into thinking that we would jump on anybody or jump in the stands and that type of stuff. Because we're so
no, but once a beer is thrown on you, that is self-defense is not violence. That is a violent act. Spitting on somebody is assault.
That's assault. That's a violent act.
That's
if I'm playing football, don't you throw no Gatorade on me. That shit off me is cold.
You get in the trash can.
Exactly. Jazz out of here. Anyway,
so who got it? Who's got the story that's going to get us started this morning? After we've already been to the heights, we've already seen Kylian and Mbappe. So I mean, we can't go any higher than that. But anybody got anything they want to get us started with?
Yeah, I want to share. Excuse me. The GoFundMe for Santawa and Nkrumah Ture. And yes, it's past her goal, but we want to make sure that our sister is able to move quickly and find a place to live. I think the hearing was yesterday. For people who were not on yesterday, our sister and comrade, Asantewa Nkrumah Ture, lives in West Philly, and she's been renting a room in a house for a couple of years. And it turns out that the house was sold. She knew it was going to be sold, so she was starting to look for a place to live. But then the people who owned the house had been collecting rent from her for 2 years, but they did not have a rental license. So there's an issue with that. So then they got a rental license real quick and then gave her a 30-day notice to move. But then the very next day, they started moving their stuff in and told her that she immediately have to leave. That is illegal. So they were harassing her. And this is, these are the folks who are doing this are young. She posted a video on her Facebook page, I think. And unfortunately, it's a group of young folks from the Caribbean who are doing this, but gentrifiers are gentrifiers, and they have been harassing her. She's had to resort to wearing a bulletproof vest because somebody came in the house with a gun. So her court date, and she's had people have to stay with her pretty much around the clock to make sure that she's safe. They've tried to lock her in her room, saying that she didn't have access to the rest of the house. So there was a hearing yesterday, and I don't know the outcome of the hearing, but they were hoping to get the tenant court to impose an injunction on the owners so that she could change the locks and the 30-day notice could be enforced and she could have time to, move out and get a new place. So I don't know the outcome of the hearing yet, but this is her GoFundMe. Please support her if you can. I'll drop the link to the GoFundMe in the chat so you can have that. But this is the face of gentrification. This is an older sister who is herself a housing advocate. So she knew her rights. She knew that what they were doing was illegal. They have committed false imprisonment. They've obviously committed harassment and assault. I think there were death threats. And that's aside from illegally collecting rent from her for 2 years and violating the original lease. There are 2 leases. One of them is obviously fake. Asantewa has the original lease. All of this, I'm sure, was brought out in the hearing yesterday, but Asante was only able to get a hearing because she knew her rights, because she is a housing advocate. All of the people, working class, poor folks who do not know that landlords cannot do these kinds of things, they can't just come in and kick you out. They don't know their rights and they end up on the street, homeless, couch surfing, whatever. So there needs to be some serious changes in the laws, absolutely. But we also need to do step up the political education of our people and what their rights in whatever jurisdiction they live in are.
So Jackie, would you say, I mean, because I heard you say it was like the new face of gentrification. I'm wondering that, or is it just some ignorant motherfucking, you know what I mean? Some ignorant, a-hole shit. You know what I'm saying? I abbreviated some of my curse words and censored some. But anyway, my thing is like, I just couldn't imagine it. And I don't know no tough guy stuff. It's like, how do you move in to a place where you already have an occupant? I can even imagine, I don't give a fuck who owned the house. If I was renting a space, you're not just gonna put the key in and open the door. That's just not gonna happen, because I have PTSD from these concrete streets. So I don't want to just mess around and think that someone's breaking in, because I would absolutely think someone's breaking in if you're just gonna start walking in there. How do you start moving shit into somewhere that where people are, oh, I'm sorry, that's the American way. You know what I'm saying? That's
well, not only that, but
that's what the Europeans did here.
That's settler colonialism.
Yeah,
isn't that settler colonialism? You just move your shit in where somebody is already.
But it also has to do
claim
with
it is yours.
With whom they were moving in on. The fact that this is an older Black woman does not shock me at all, because there's no regard for Black women, period. Certainly no regard for older Black women. And even if the people who were gentrifying this building, clearly they had no regard for this older Black woman in her ability to stay housed, or at least give her the legal opportunities to find another place.
And that's why this particular issue screams to me a class warfare, because these folks they look like us, but they have a clear disdain and disrespect for the tenant, who also looks like them. But this is where that whole what was it called, a buy up the block mentality. This is why I don't like that shit, because you're talking about people who have a little piece of change coming in and displacing people who have less. They're not people who say this. Who said that? Was that Jay-Z who said, what, gentrify your hood? That's what it was.
Yeah.
They're not coming in to make things better for the working class and poor people who live in these neighborhoods. They're talking about coming in and taking away from the people who already live there so they can make money. That's what this is. And you're absolutely right, Kalanji. They're absolutely being a-holes about it. They were a-holes anyway to do this kind of thing. But the fact that they have a little piece of change, they bought this property and they want to profit from it, then they're just a part of this, gentrify your hood, buy up the block, Black capitalism mentality, folks. And this is, I think, another example of what that shit looks like when we're talking about Black folks with a little piece of change, the bourgeois, the petit bourgeois, and working class and poor Black folks. This is how it works out.
My mother's going to be 71 on this coming Friday. I couldn't imagine. I think that the phone call I'd be getting from her is, I just blew this motherfucker off the porch, or he got stabbed, or whatever the case. I remember my mother was telling me a story about my grandmother. My grandmother grew up in South Carolina, and back in the day, and I'm sure some of you can remember, the insurance people would come to the house every month to collect. So my grandmother told this insurance guy to get off the porch. Dude told her, he said he ain't getting off nowhere, and what you gonna do about it? My grandmother went and got an axe and told him again to get off the porch. He said he ain't going nowhere. What he said what you gonna do? So long story short, dude left with his 2 small toes missing. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that's the nature of when you violate someone's home. To me, it's sacred space. I don't give a fuck who own it. You know what I mean? Go through whatever legal avenues you have to, because of the fact that all bets are off. And I'm not saying, and again, I hope that the comrade, everything works in her favor. It really infuriates me, and I think that this is another reason why brothers and sisters must train. You have to train. You have to be. We can't keep talking this weird war shit, and we're not training. You know what I'm saying? If you decided or you feel that certain aspects of community aren't stepping up and doing what they need to do, then make sure that you get your training and whatnot, because of the fact that, you know, it's war, and it ain't no, you know, there's no two ways around it. And capitalism, it is not a respect of men, women, or children. And we have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? So please, you know, if you can't arm yourself, everybody got a knife, a screwdriver, whatever. And I'm not calling for violence, but like you said, self-defense is not a violent act, man. It's like, look, you can't just, I mean, fuck you mean you gonna come up in here? I mean, I don't even understand that concept. Maybe that's foreign. Maybe I'm not that.
I mean, I think to Kim's point also, I mean, you know, that's why there's the concept of soft targets. And, right. You know, Asante was, you know, having known her at least a little bit for a long time, I mean, this is not a physically imposing woman. She is a mature woman at this point. Yeah. And the idea that from their vantage point, that I feel like they think that they could, you know, that they would feel comfortable in treating her this way is, so I agree with what you're saying, Kalonji. I would also just encourage us that we also, you know, have to politically organize these problems out of existence. I mean, this is, I mean, so on the one hand, I agree we should be trained and all of that, but I also can't help thinking, like, I don't want to have to be trained, and I don't want
put a pot of hot grits on the stove, boil some grits, slow burn.
But the point I'm getting at is that I don't even if she were perfectly well trained, we have to be thinking about a world where she doesn't have to be in order to be sustained safe in her home. And that's all that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like, and I unite with what both of you are saying. This is not it's not an attack, it's not disregard, no, it's not dismissing.
No, I wasn't saying that. I wasn't
yeah. And it's not, and I think that we have to realize that there are no absolutes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, it's not an either or. You know, in Islam they say trust in Allah, but tie your camel.
Tie your camel.
You know what I'm saying? So you just can't depend on anything, because of the fact that, like you said, yes, we would love to be in a world where folks were civil. We would love to be in a situation where people would come to our aid when we need them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people, you know, my peripheral is crazy. I see certain people sometimes. You can be at an event or whatever, and if they don't see that you see them, they'll try to dip off the other way. But when it's convenient, when everything's good, they the first ones running up in your face and shit. So we have to, you know, reassess our definition of what community is and work towards building that and safeguarding and reinforcing what it is we're a part of. If we are part of organizations, we must expect our organizations to come to our aid when it's time to come to our aid. And that's
right.
Jacqueline, I'm curious, who initially began to organize this GoFundMe for the sister? Because, you know,
she did.
Good for her. Because when I hear stories like this, all I hear in the back of my head is, you know, Black people sitting around shaking their heads. You know, Black women, the most unprotected people out here in the world. Girl, show is, yeah. And why are we unprotected? Who's supposed to be protecting us? And more often than not, it is Black women having to protect ourselves, either our individual selves or other Black women will join behind us to make sure that we are taken care of. So I am so sorry that she is going through this, but I am not surprised that she is going through this.
Yeah. Now I will say that she started the GoFundMe when she first found out that she was going to have to move. That this was, you know, a couple of months, maybe a little over a month ago, when she heard that, you know, that there were new owners and they, you know, so she started the GoFundMe before all of these folks started moving in, you know, the stuff that started happening. And when she put out the call that, look, I need help over here, you know, Sherry Honkala and her comrades from the Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign came through. A lot of comrades came through, men and women, to support and protect that sister. So, you know, folks are holding it down in Philly. But that has to be, I would love for us to have, I honestly would love for us to have our own damn spaces. I just, you know, where this kind of thing, where we don't have to worry about, you know, capitalist profiteering, speculating takeovers of where we live.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the nature of imperialism as well. Look at all the countries here that exist on the planet right now who are under threat because of the fact that the U.S. and the West in general and these Europeans, they're looking to control and dominate. So there's no safe space wherever you look comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for it. They need it. Unless you have military might, unless you have organization and structure, in which I believe in our people. And I believe that we are going to win and we're going to be on the right side of history. It took us a while to get where we are right now. And we have to work on building and strengthening, starting from where we are. And that's the bottom line. So again, it's not an either or. We're talking about building community. And I really wish one of my tasks, and I know we got to go to break, but one of my tasks is always to bring folks to our platform who people aren't familiar with, because there's a lot of sisters and there's a lot of brothers and there's a lot of OGs that put in work and they're still putting in work. So that's why, to a degree, when I hear certain things about what's not being done, my pushback is, no, it is being done, but you may not know it's being done. So again, being a part of organized fronts is important because of the fact that then that way you'll be in the know. It's like being in a buyer's club. You don't know what's on sale because they didn't make it public. You can't make everything that we're doing public or it'll get crushed. And our people won't support you when you crushed. And to prove that, we look at all these political prisoners who are suffering and dying and languishing in these prisons and gulags. So anyway, I'm sorry. Remix Morning Show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know we got to go to a break, but just one last thing. And I just noticed this. Ricky Ryan pointed this out, and she's right. This is the benefit of being in an organization, because Asantewa is a longtime activist and organizer in Philly. She is involved with several organizations. So when she had a problem, she put out the call, and her comrades from Party for Socialism and Liberation, Black Alliance for Peace, Poor People's, Sherry Honkalu's group, Poor People's Economic Human Rights Campaign, people showed up. The people who she's been organizing with showed up. That's also the benefit of being in organization.
That's right.
You run with a mob. You support each other. And I can certainly attest to that being true over the past 7 months with me. Our people showed up. So this is another reason why we be in organization. Like Abda said, you build community. That is how you build community, and your community shows up for you when you need them.
No doubt. Yes.
And speaking of community and showing up, we got the ear doctor with his Black History Month starter package background.
Oh, nice.
There's a starter package.
This is a starter package. It's a $24.99 starter package.
Like I ain't been doing this, son.
No, I'm saying because it's like that's the standard picture we
That's
get.
definitely the standard joint
the
right
same
there.
folks, the same layout. It's all respect.
Couple people missing though. There's a couple people missing.
What's dope is for Black History Month, I got a guest coming up because we talk about what people did in the past. We got a person that's doing stuff in the now. So like I was saying before, we got to make sure that we also promote people that's doing stuff now and not just in the past. But right now, I'm just going to give you all a musical break. So let's go.
Cool.
Wait a minute. I didn't get my echo this morning. Who got an echo this morning?
You got the echo this morning.
You got the echo? That's weird.
Yeah.
WWJD.
Hey, Jared. Relax. All right. Once again, thank you all for coming out. Checking out the doctor's office yesterday. Appreciate that. With that said, let's take it back to the Remix Morning Show, y'all. You know how we do.
Is it Louise Peterson? Was that her name?
Yeah.
That's one of the coldest graphics. Yeah, Jenkins, Louisa Jenkins.
What's your mother?
That's my favorite. Yeah, I love that right there.
Yeah.
Word. So just
Yeah, she's like, I don't care what you want. I ain't going no damn way.
You know what really happened though, right? No, I'm joking. Let me stop. About to give y'all some
I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, I didn't.
She was like, and the ear doctor over there talking about. No, I'm joking.
And yo,
I wish that motherfucker would play that music again.
This was wild about this calculator guy right here.
Oh yeah,
slave. Yeah, so he was the slave that was like, no, he actually can read and write. They actually are smart. So yeah, that was wild.
He was the enslaved African. He wasn't a slave. Let's get that right. The African is not a slave.
So with that's what it is. I catch y'all next break. Peace.
Right.
Yes. What was it? I missed it. Where did I miss the lesson?
We all did. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. I thought we was gonna learn something from the pictures.
We did.
Well, yeah, he
Thanks, Ed Doctor.
Yeah. Did he do it in ASL? Was I looking away? What the fuck? How did I miss this?
He did it in THC. Anyway, shout out to all the folks out there checking us out. We got good numbers this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Look
Keep
at
it coming.
That. 219.
You know what I mean? We're doing it. We're doing it.
219 of y'all.
Yes. So we need to up that. Tomorrow's our anniversary.
Tomorrow's the anniversary. We had an anniversary party tomorrow night. So everybody has to come back for that and stay tuned for more on that. But just real quick, while we got everybody here, I asked this on Twitter and I actually did not mean it as a joke. So I would like some assistance on this. And I know part of this is I admit pettiness and taking some of it personal, but could somebody please tag me on something if they see Adolph Reed talk to any Black journalists, media, or anybody in all of his recent this book tour of blaming Black people for racism that he's on right now? Because I just saw him he was on another white outlet the other day talking about why racism isn't real anymore or whatever, or isn't as big a deal, whatever he's saying that we talked about the other day. I'm just anyway. So I would just honestly, I admit a level of irritation. I more than I'm proud of. But I was like, why is he what is happening here? Like I didn't know he was. I didn't imagine that he would have gone this anyway. So anyway, please tag me if anybody happens to see him talk to anybody Black about his new book and his. He said
if you happen to see him talking to anybody Black.
Anybody Black.
Anybody. Anywhere.
Damn,
when you show up on Candace Owens show, you're gonna feel some kind of way. When he did Candace Owens, you're gonna be real mad.
Take that. But at this point,
and see, I feel like, because I remember I interviewed Dr. Reed for the Real News Network, and I admit that I did not know, the depth of his work and how long he's been. And I think that's the thing that irritates him, right? I think that aside from him just being kind of crotchety, right? He's just like generally annoyed. I think he kind of comes off to me as angry at this new generation of Black radicals because they don't know his that he was very deeply involved in the Black Power movement and all that kind of stuff. They don't know that part of his history. They only know him from his supporting Bernie Sanders, and which is okay, but then kind of giving these talks to a lot of white leftists that downplay the impact of racism and white supremacy and overemphasize classism, right? Which Black radicals, actual Black radicals who understand, who are politically mature, understand that it's not a question of either or. It's not classism or racism. It is both. And it is both at the same time, all the time, inextricably. You cannot untie the two together. Reed he seems to have gone down this track where, because white leftists are more receptive to hearing him, he has an audience with them that he and they like hearing him say, yes, racism is bad and it's still impactful, but it's not as important as us having to deal with this issue of class. So if we deal with class first, we can deal with race later. I think white leftists like hearing him say that. So that's his audience now. So now he kind of is, I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I think he's angry that Black radicals, this new generation of Black radicals, don't know his history, don't have a respect for the work that he did in the past. So he comes off as trashing Black radicals for being, what's the word I'm looking for having this rosy-eyed view about Black nationalism and, oh, you got to love all the Black people, when no Black radical I know is like, I love all Black people, because we're clear on the class struggle. We are clear that the class struggle among ourselves has to be brutal, and some of them folks gonna be Black that we got to get rid of, right? But Reed, I think, has become comfortable talking to white people who will receive his message, and now he's angry at Black folks because we're not big up in him like the white folks are. And I don't think he actually believes that racism is not a problem. I think he'll just talk to whoever will stick a mic in his face,
except Jared, apparently.
I'm gonna invite him on Riot Starter TV,
and who will agree with his views.
But I do. So
racism isn't that bad.
We have agreed. I have interviewed him before, and I have always appreciated his work going back many years. So that's why I'm very confused by this latest, and the problem that I think he's exhibiting is that he allows the Black left to be defined by the people I have loved that he's been critical of, like Dyson and Kendi and that whole crew, who he would deem more in the race hustler category. I don't have a problem with that, but there, to your point, is an actual Black left that can do a lot more than look at race as a hustle, and could look at it more intricately and nuanced as you're describing. So anyway, by the way, was your interview with him recent? Because I hate on the reviews too. I wouldn't have seen it. So
no, this was several years ago.
Okay.
And it was interesting because I think I asked him about that. I know I asked him about that. And it seemed like he kind of backed up a little, like he didn't expect to be challenged on that. And, I was new. Ain't nobody know me. I didn't, so I was just like, I know who you are, but I don't care. Because this is, I'm not going to sit here and not ask you this question. And, I remember I tried to get him back, and he never... Nope.
I'm gonna invite him on Riot Starter TV. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
And it was funny because
all the good folks come out there and tell us how peaceful they are and how Black they are. So it's gonna be a great thing. But so don't even sweat it. We're gonna see what happens. And then if he don't come on, then I'm gonna be Team Jared. But Jared, that's my man, but he a resident hater. So really
But that's what I'm saying. So like, I get it. If it's personal, I don't, I'm cool with that. And so I would like to see the conversation happen elsewhere. He doesn't have to be with me. I would just like to see him have a conversation elsewhere that goes beyond what this white left YouTube crowd can do. So that's all. But I know we got an interview coming up. So, and I'm sure one or more substantive stories.
Before you go there,
Yeah,
before you go
go
there,
ahead.
I want to remind folks, 4 p.m. today, we have a dope piece. Asada speaks in her own voice. Stop through 4 p.m. today. You know what I'm saying? We got some exclusives. That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
Wow.
Right back to you, Jay.
All right. No, so it's perfect that I'll come right behind that by saying, please, to all the members and patrons or those who would consider becoming members and patrons, go check out the silly joint that I dropped yesterday for members and patrons. Almost the antithesis of whatever I'm sure Kalanji's got coming up later today, but just a quick, I think, funny look at why I'm probably going to have to come back and support this Washington football team, now the Commanders, because
Silly.
and I'll just say it like this, but check out the video and have some fun with it, because if they're going to be nicknamed the Commies, they might have just got me back. So check out the video. Consider becoming a member and a patron, and check out the video and have some fun with it. And you know, and then,
I mean, if we were enterprising Black people, we should be pressing up Washington Commies shirts right now, DC Commie shirts right now.
I got the assignment. I got it. I got the assignment. Okay.
Check the video, because I think I already got mine.
Give me an extra medium, Jackie. Yeah, I want a DC Commie shirt.
So
the hammer and the sickle.
Listen. So speaking of somewhat something that may be, or it could be silly, but we mentioned earlier that we didn't see or even know about the recent versus battle between Musiq Soulchild and Anthony Hamilton. And is it because they're now behind a paywall, and it's because it's no longer free? And there's been, it looks like what they might have once upon a time called the classic bait and switch, get you all hooked with that free product, give you that freebie up front, get that nose wide open, as they might have said once upon a time. I might have heard in other spaces, so on and so forth. But apparently you now got to pay. So after originally posting and promoting a flyer that said the upcoming verses would be available on Instagram and YouTube like it has in the past, the flyer has been changed to let fans know that they now have to pay, and verses is not free anymore. To be fair, the announcement was originally made as an advertisement at the end of the last verses between 3 6 Mafia and Bone Thugs Harmony. However, the details weren't very clear, and making the announcement at the end of the event when people are logging off and moving on with their night is not the best way to announce such a huge change. Versus has been free for 2 years, available on Instagram Live, and since the beginning. For a short time, the battles were available on Apple TV. The brand was sold to Thriller last year, and they put the battles on their website and on YouTube, providing viewers with more ways to see it. But now you are going to have to pay. So I guess one more thing I won't be seeing live, at least.
Capitalism wins again.
Exactly. Do you just see the greed and all that? Because we saw how verses really grew from like Badu and Jill like doing it on their iPhones in the house. You know what I mean? To now they have these stages, and it's sponsored by Ciroc and Hennessy. And there's a lot of money already pouring into the verses. So it's like, oh well, here we go. Let's exploit our audience and make them pay now, in addition to all the corporate advertisements that they have already collected.
Also, apparently they've rescinded.
Timberland? This is Swiss Beats and Timberland, right? This was their brainchild. Yes.
Yeah. Well, apparently they've thanks to the good sisters of Brokish, but apparently that has been rescinded already. So we've broken news, and it is now unbroken. So that's how we do here at the Remix, everybody. That's how it works. We put the word out. People that's how fast.
We mix the story right in front of you, right in front of your eyes. And shit.
Yep.
Stick around. Listen all the way through.
Rewind.
Yeah, but I thought they sold at least part of verses anyway. Maybe about 6.
Well, to Thriller, to this Thriller group.
Yeah. Triller. It's
Triller.
Or Triller. Sorry.
Excuse me. So I mean, white folks like, look, we can get $1 or $2 on this. I don't know why.
Look at what all the blacks are watching. How can we make money
$2 like a stream? You know what I'm saying? So the Negroes weren't having it. So I guess we're back again. Wonderful. Anyway.
Yeah, well, so back. Well, okay. Anyway, back to square one, just with regular.
We'll watch the Super Bowl halftime show. But anyway,
I did watch the Super Bowl halftime show. I was pleasantly surprised by how well it was done. I wasn't expecting to like it. And obviously Mary J was my favorite part of it, but it wasn't terrible. And it's just amazing like how far, especially someone like Snoop has come. You know what I mean? Snoop was crip walking on the Super Bowl halftime show. Like that's kind of historic when you put when you really think about it. I don't know. Like I liked it, but then I just thought about, I'm like, okay, well, how many abuse allegations does he have? How many does he have? There's a lot of abusers on the stage, potentially abusers. So I don't know. But it was well done. Shout out to Mary J. Blige. She looked amazing.
What did you think of Eminem taking the knee? Did you all? Because I missed. Yes, of course I missed, and he smoked a blunt beforehand too. Apparently,
I mean, it
of
would have been news if he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I mean, he's the only one who had the privilege or was willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of them niggas was in line. You know what I mean? So
I mean, in a state where it's legal, by the way. So I don't see what the news about that was.
Surprise. Kalonji took a drink at the bar. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit legal. But yeah, I mean,
what did you all think of the knee that Eminem? Did you all talk about this yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
My bad.
We talked
I
about
missed the show.
And I tweeted about it. Basically, I was saying that you know, capitalism absorbs and co-ops every damn thing. I was talking about basically how, you know, a few years ago you had Beyonce is the new Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? You got Eminem co-opted the whole Kaepernick piece. You know what I'm saying? You got a white boy out of all the people on the goddamn planet that's going to take a knee. You got a white boy, the white rapper, you know what I'm saying, taking a knee. And then you got another nigga who's running around talking about fuck the police 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And he's the ringleader. So, I mean,
he did get the lyric off. I did hear the lyric. He said, I still got no love for the police. He still had that line. He still got that line off. And I saw people were talking about Kendrick. Either censored or was censored. Did you all do that? Talk about that too? So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then with Snoop, it's like, you know, okay, you 51 years old. You know what I'm saying? You crip walking on the stage. You're making it great. So now you got more white folks crip walking. But meanwhile, Crips, Bloods, and others are dying in the streets, getting locked up, so on and so forth. So, you know, it's entertaining. But at the end of the day, you know, it's all capitalism and it's all bullshit. I think that, you know, yes, the show concept, you know, love the artists and all that. I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of the culture. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You know, we was boycotting the NFL a couple years ago until shit changes, until they brought Jay-Z on board and changed the game. So that's my Debbie Downer moment. So that's just
I didn't watch. I don't watch, but I did see the performance, and all I have to say is it wasn't Prince. That's it. It just wasn't
nothing was Prince or Michael Jackson. Come on,
because it was announced. I heard the whoever the woman was on the mic announced this as the best ever halftime show.
She was
and
dumb.
I just said,
I heard her say that.
That was
that was
she was 12. So what does she know?
Exactly. Well, not even being 12. I mean, Jackie, come on. Like, I mean, Prince did the thing solo. You had to roll out 6 people on this most
and in the rain,
and you know in the rain, and with a perfectly incorporated Florida A&M marching 100 horn section, sounding like come on, just traverse genres from R&B to rock to.
It's what happens when you the GOAT. That's all. It's just
that's all it is.
You could do everything. That's what it is.
Did y'all not see Michael Jackson stand there for 90 seconds and not move a muscle? And got the crowd going wild. Listen, we not gonna have an MJ versus Prince bang up in here, y'all, because I see where the battle lines are drawn.
Oh yeah, they would be drawn.
I'm riding with Gary, Indiana's own Michael Joseph Jackson out here. Okay.
Damn, she put Joseph in the middle. Shout out to
all
Joe.
I have to say is written and produced and performed by Prince.
Hey.
All of them joints, and everybody else.
Should we pull out that birthday picture?
Other people.
Should we pull out the birthday picture of one of our own in the Prince outfit? Or we gonna let that fly?
No, I don't think we're gonna let that slide.
I told you we should bring it. I told you we should bring that.
Bring it back.
Of course, It's
I
an
don't know, man.
anniversary. It's an anniversary.
I think our relationship went all the way downhill after that.
No, we learned our lessons. I learned my lesson for sure.
You learned?
Bring him back, man. Come on, fellas.
I'm known for going too far. I have to modulate. That's
you did go too far in yours, man.
I did. But I'm saying I can modulate so we can get back to it because it was a beautiful facet of the early days of BPM, and that Prince joint was. And even you had me as Michael Eric Dyson, my dude. Like it's okay. I mean, like that was.
I thought he had you as I'll Be Sure. I thought the I'll Be Sure one was gold. That I'll Be Sure joint was brilliant.
He got me on all of them joints.
Yeah, but you went below the belt. I'm talking about
I went too far.
My Jamaican friends was like Bombo Clot, Rastafari.
Even my friends said you went too far. They were even like, my man.
Holding the white man. the man too on food.
Oh my gosh.
So
crying out loud.
We gotta. I'm happy to scale it back, but we gotta bring it back because the joint you did, Kamau as Prince, and I mean, come on, man.
And the El DeBarge.
I mean, and the El DeBarge one. I mean, these are classics. These are. We gotta get there. Come on, man.
Hey man, you got this. Shout out to all the good people out there who support BPM. Again, it's our 1 year anniversary tomorrow. I really can't believe that it's only been a year because of the fact that this has been, shit ain't been sweet. It's been a struggle. You know what I'm saying?
What you about to say? It feels like 20? You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say it feels like 5 minutes.
Like I said, all I noticed, this was black when I got started. You know what I mean?
And now I had a full head of hair.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm bald. So, never mind.
Speaking of bald and back on the block.
Oh.
The ear doctor.
Bald and back on the block.
Bald and back on the block, baby.
Bonjour,
Yo, you got some of the best transitions there, Jared. I must say, man. I'm supposed to have an interview coming up, but things happen, in this world. So gonna give y'all another musical break real quick.
That's why he used to have hair too.
Do we have a lesson?
I had locks back in the day. Now it's
okay.
Because
you got locked out.
My hairline was in a race to the back of my head, and it was
your neck.
Yeah,
that's okay, man.
Hey, y'all left them. I know a lot of brothers
from it.
I know a lot of brothers who left them Iverson cornrows in just a little bit too long, and then all of a sudden they took them joints out, and that hairline was not where it started when them cornrows first went in.
I mean, that's exactly how I learned of my baldness.
Really?
They literally I took them out, and the hair parted like the Red Sea and collapsed.
Yeah, I saw one of your pictures.
Literally that night took the clippers. I was like, I just was like, that's it. It's a wrap. There was no transition. There was no struggle. I just said I gotta let it go, and I just and
you gotta know where to fold.
But let's be real, y'all. Let's be real, y'all. What is Stevie Wonder gonna say? He gonna be like, "I don't like how this look." Come on,
I'm not here for the ableist jokes, doctor. And really, you need to apologize to Stevie Wonder for that.
That's right.
Anyway, Kim. What I am
because I don't think that we make fun of people's disabilities here. So that kind of wasn't cool.
So what I'm saying is, after watching that Summer of Soul with Stevie Wonder on the drums, I do not believe he's blind. And if he
for the fences, huh? Now we don't believe disabled people when they are clearly disabled. Got it. Oh wow.
You gotta know where in the fold.
My goodness. Anything else? You're going to ask disabled people in wheelchairs to get up and walk to prove that they can't walk?
They walk it out.
Oh Lord, no.
Let's go. Once again, now we take you back to the Remix Morning Host right here, right now on Black Power Media. Let's go. All right, all right.
Oh, what's up, good people? My bad.
Bathroom break.
I tried to get there. I was moving as fast as I could, but you know, if we're gonna put all our business out in the streets like that, I mean,
it's all good.
Yeah,
you know,
in all seriousness, you know, the dozens we used to play when we were kids and say crazy stuff about people. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. We can't.
That's not even the dozens, though, Jackie. That's not even the dozens, though. That is specifically zeroing in on someone's disability and making fun of that. You understand?
See,
like I don't consider that the dozens. That's not the dozens to me. The
Actually, I feel like it is because there's been a running joke with a lot of comedians over the years,
and those have been terrible jokes done by terrible comedians. So I don't think that's not something that we need to try to replicate.
Eddie Murphy's terrible.
Yes, if he's cracking on people for their disability, absolutely.
I was always the one to hear it, like anybody can get it when it comes to jokes.
Oh well, you were mistaken, and so was all these other comedians.
I think they feel left out. I've talked to certain people that was like, yo, they'll never have no jokes for me. They always feel like, even like 85 South crew, they got on the brother's wheelchair and was having fun with him and joking with him. But other people don't want to bring it up, and then they feel like, well, you know, you can't talk about me, so anybody should be able to get it, and they should be able to joke because it's not.
I think
about that.
I think that a lot of the way we joked and did the dozens and was based on some pretty unpleasant and mean-spirited characterizations of people's physicality, whether people, you know, your mama was so fat, your mama so black, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think that is part of that kind of culture. But look, it is not appropriate now.
So it's all right to hate on people, but it ain't all right to joke.
What? Not about people's disabilities, man. What are you talking about?
I don't think we need to be joking about people's physicality in regard to their weight, their disability. We just don't. We don't. I don't think we do.
And if people want to joke themselves, if disabled people want to joke themselves, if fat people want to joke themselves, that's different. But stranger, you know, Stevie Wonder is a celebrity, but he's a stranger to all of us. We don't know Stevie personally. Like, I think it's real fucked up the way that people very casually will make blind jokes about Stevie Wonder and will openly speculate about to how much Stevie can see and how much Stevie can't see. And that is and the fact that people don't see how fucked up that is continues to blow my mind. Like, it's just really, really strange to me. Like, anyway, but you're right. That's how a lot of people tell jokes. And I don't think that them jokes should continue to be told. And I'm sorry. And this is not obviously a personal thing.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
No, I know. But I think that this is a conversation that we need to have because ableism is very, very casual in our communities, especially in American society at large. But Black people are very casual with the ableism. And especially with people like Stevie and oh man, something is so obvious, even Ray Charles can see it. Just think about the ways in which we very casually reduce people to their disabilities. And the people who are geniuses, by the way, ain't none of us here can ever replicate what Stevie Wonder has ever given to this world. And people still got jokes about Stevie, and Stevie is really unproblematic as fuck, right? Like, Stevie is unproblematic. Stevie's only demerit is that he is visually impaired, and motherfuckers won't hesitate to point that out and point that out and point that out and point that out. It's just wild.
All right, catch you on next break. Peace.
All right, thanks, Ear Doctor. Thank you, Kim and Jackie and everyone else who I'm sure is commenting vigorously in the chat. All I'm saying, by the way, just for my own 2 cents, so I'm not just sitting here quietly listening, just for the record, I think I just need to learn, because I clearly grew up in a different, and I would not have recognized the hostility in what Ear Doctor had done or said, or what I have said and done in those moments. So I'm open to it. I got to catch up on certain things. So.
I mean, we all that. I mean, that's the thing,
because I'm sorry, Jackie, real quick. My bad. That was, I forgot because the one thing that because the video where Stevie Wonder is seen catching the microphone, I have talked and watched that so many times, not intending to be disrespectful, but perhaps clearly I was. So I'm open to it. Anyway, my bad. I just didn't want to,
No, I mean, I think, but that's the thing. We are along this journey. We're all going to learn new ways to communicate, and that's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem, being wrong and having to amend the way I think about things. I mean, it is. We all do, and it's not always easy. The things that we used to do. When we were kids, when we were younger, some of those things are really, really not appropriate. Like if we go back and watch Eddie Murphy's Raw, which was one of the funniest fucking stand-up skits I've ever seen in my life, second to anything and everything Richard Pryor did, can't say, I don't want to hear half that shit now. Because it's like, come on.
I can see that.
Yeah, so that's all this is. This is just, recognizing that I think as a society, we've elevated our consciousness toward human rights a little bit more than that. We're not all the way where we need to be, but we're getting there,
But it's all good for convo because of the fact that, again, I think that it's all a part of education and growth. I think when we first started the platform, Remix in particular, one of the criticisms was the cursing, right? And we were able to finesse that, and I made efforts to calm down. And just recently, I believe about a week and a half ago, elder sister I know out here in Atlanta, she's like, man, I really love what y'all doing, man. At some point, this and that. She said, but why do y'all say nigga so much? She said, I mean, as intelligent as y'all are, everything don't have to be nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing there because of the fact that she is dealing with me in a in an elder type fashion, not antagonistic, but constructive. So I think that we have to, if nothing else, we all have to learn to grow, because certain things are going to offend each one of us, and we don't know that it's offensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when we point it out, we have to make efforts to do better. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that we are, we keep in mind that we are in a, we're under colonialism, we're under imperialism. So a lot of this shit we have to shed, we have to lose. You know what I'm saying? You can't work in the sewer system and not come out smelling like shit from now and then, every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be able to, and a lot of this stuff, man, a lot of things is, it's learned behavior and it's environment as well. The beautiful thing about our platform is that we come from different types of environments. We come from different classes. We come from different experiences. You know what I mean? Some of the things that you all might think is hard, I'm looking at that shit like, this shit goofy as fuck, but hey, man, we all have our own experiences, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But we have to learn how to utilize what is we have and not make intentional efforts to be disrespectful or disregard what other people are doing and talking about. So anyway, that's just my little.
And that's why I think we need to have more conversations, especially in our communities, around ableism, because we don't have conversations around ableism. Just like disabled people generally in society are overlooked and disregarded, Black people do the exact same thing to disabled people in our community. We speak over them, we speak around them. We don't usually bring up issues that directly affect Black disabled people, and nor do we look at issues that affect our whole community through the lens of Black disability. And that is a problem. And I agree, like this is a growth journey. For people who follow me on my channel, shout out to Northern Witch. I just see Northern Witch became a BPM member. Welcome, my dearest. But, you know, I have talked about my disability from time to time on my channel. It's not something that I like to talk about for the simple fact that I don't want to broadcast my disability because I think it literally puts me in danger to share with people what my condition is. But as a person who is now disabled, but spent the majority of my life non-disabled, I hear it. I hear the ableism in ways that I did not hear before prior to me becoming disabled. And it bothers me because I understand that basically you are joking me. You know, you got jokes for me. You got our word jokes for me and people like me and people who are in similar situations dealing with a range of disabilities, right? So I think that ableism is something that we need to discuss because, you know, what Ear Doctor said, I think was very accurate. Like there, in a lot of our popular cultural offerings in stand-up comedic, you know, routines and different things, the ableism has always been there. It's been ingrained. It's not, I can't even say it's been subtle because it hasn't been subtle at all, but it's just been so accepted that we just sort of went with it. And I think in 2022, especially as we are dealing with COVID, which is a mass disability event, even though people don't look at it that way, it absolutely is. We are going to be dealing with way more disabled folks in our community coming up. And you're going to be wondering, why does more people using walkers? Why does more people using wheelchairs? Well, COVID destroyed
people on oxygen.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think that we have to reassess the way that we look at Black disabled people and the way that we talk about disability within the context of the Black community.
And I think we also have to acknowledge and realize that disabilities are not just physical. You know what I mean? So you may be dealing with mental disabilities. So even with mental disabilities, you know, we can look at someone and say, well, you know, this motherfucker is disrespectful, or he's rude, or she's disrespectful, or she's rude, so on and so forth. But it might be an underlying condition in them as well. So we have to, you know, we have to really, and it's not an excuse, it's a reality, because of the fact that you can't look at everyone and say, okay, boom, this person has a learning disability. This person has, you understand what I'm saying? This person has, the elevator don't necessarily go to where it need to go. There's the dots aren't connecting or what have you. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different situations. We are traumatized as a people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just Black people. That's my only pushback, because of the fact that we point out how fucked up we are. We are learning from some of the most fucked up people on the planet. We're learning from the people who, the original terrorists, the original annihilator, the original gentrifier, the original rapists. You know what I'm saying? We are byproducts. They created the nigger machine, and we are manufactured by the nigger machine. But we have to acknowledge the seed. How did this happen? Where did this come from? We look at television. Everything is, we're entertained by violence. That is a sickness. The fact that we can sit around and watch violent shit all the time and think that we're not affected or impacted. You know what I mean? So we have to dig a tad bit deeper and figure out, you know, how do we communicate? How do we embrace each other in a loving fashion? Because our whole attitude and our whole response, and it's push-pull. But we have to figure out, one of the things that if I could say anything in regards to BPM that I would like to see happen, I would like to see us report more positive news. I would like to see us report more victories. You know what I'm saying?
Well, damn, then let me put the story I was pulling up away.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
this is not a victory, and this is not good news.
Let me just say this real quick. I just want for people, if you have your race, gender, and class consciousness elevated, just add ableism to that shit. Just add it. Just you know what I'm saying. Just take another dimension to your awakening, to your enlightenment, and put in the context of all the oppression that you are able to recognize and identify and talk about, and add disability and ableism into that. Even if you yourself are not disabled, it needs to be part of your critique and your analysis. That's it.
Yeah, and while we have these discussions, real quick, because I got to dip because I gotta get to my real job. While we
What
have
you saying? No, I'm joking.
Y'all keep saying y'all don't pay me, so so
It's
I mean,
love,
while we're having this discussion, let's not forget to condemn the system for the way we are all underserved, for the way that we are all suffering, whether it's from, and this is why I do, and I have shared the information I have about me and my husband and our struggles, because why are we going to do this if we're not going to help people understand that it's not just you're not alone, that we're all the same, we're all struggling with something, and we've all got something much bigger to fight against than each other. So let's all remember that this is not the failing of a particular person. This is this whole system that treats us all like less than human, and then goes the extra mile if you're Black, if you have bipolar disorder, if you have substance abuse issues, if you are physically challenged, if you are mentally challenged, if you are, all of that. So I love y'all so very much, but I do have to go.
Hey, well, I see what you're talking
Likewise,
about. Peace
and
to
we're
you,
sorry to see it happen.
Jacqueline.
One love.
Peace.
Bonjour.
Yes, I think the ear doctor has a guest coming up, right? Or did
No, he doesn't. So
I canceled my guest, and he don't have it. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Exactly. So, but that's good, because it makes room for just a little bit more news to get everybody in what I would want us to. I will encourage that we take away from this a righteous anger. But just like with capitalism, whenever you think, whenever you are not necessarily aware of another tributary in which it can go and exploit, the abuse of women knows yet another bound, another step beyond. So something I would have never even considered, but apparently a woman was linked to a crime using DNA taken from her previous rape kit. So a woman is sexually assaulted, a rape kit is taken, and I guess it makes sense from their point of view, but I did not consider this. But apparently all that is collected in those procedures is kept and maintained and stored, and then put on a database. And when it came time to finding someone for another alleged crime, they were able to use this woman's DNA that had been previously collected as part of a rape exam to link a woman to link her to a crime. It is saying here that this is possibly violating her constitutional rights, but apparently this is going to be something that's going to have to be taken up in court. But I don't pretend to know the full extent or the details of the story, but that alone to me was pretty disturbing. So
where did this happen, Jared?
Oh, apologies. This is in San Francisco PD. So the San Francisco police used DNA collected as part of a rape exam to link a woman to a crime, possibly violating her constitutional rights, the city's district attorney alleged on Monday. The department's crime lab entered the DNA profiles of potentially thousands of sexual assault victims over many years to a database that is used to identify suspects, the San Francisco Chronicle reported. District Attorney Chesa Bodine, who said his office first learned of the practice last week, told the newspaper such use of victims' DNA could violate California Victims' Bill of Rights, as well as constitutional laws related to unreasonable searches and seizures. I would certainly hope so. But anyway.
I'm wondering if, her DNA was ever, I'd be curious about what the outcome of the original case was. Because as we know, if you don't know, but many times in lots of these police departments across the country, literally there are tens of thousands of rape DNA test kits languishing, going bad, never been tested, because again, bitches be lying. I mean, the police can't investigate all these rapes. Surely all these women didn't get raped. Come on, few of these hoes had to be lying, right? What's the point of testing all these test kits? So I'd be surprised if the test kit was even ran, just because the police generally do take a very, they don't give a fuck posture about rape and sexual assault. It's not something that they usually pursue.
I don't see anything in this story about the previous case in which her DNA was originally taken. Let's see, wait a minute, because it just says here the woman's DNA, which was collected in a rape exam as part of a domestic violence and sexual abuse case several years ago, was used to link her to a felony property crime. So it doesn't say anything about the original domestic violence and sexual abuse she suffered. It's just saying that the rape kit was used to identify her later in a property crime. So someone here is State Senator Scott Wiener is quoted as saying getting a rape kit can be re-traumatizing. Having that DNA placed in the database for future use creates yet another incentive not to do it. It's unacceptable, he said. So, but what happened with that original case, I don't know. It's just that they I guess they keep the original. Well, the article says earlier in the story, it said the line was something to the effect that the data is stored to catch as a way of storing the assailant's DNA and to match the assailant with future crime. But apparently the woman, the victim, is also kept. Her DNA is also kept and is being used to check to find people who are alleged to have committed another crime. The story does say they could have gotten her DNA perhaps in another way from another database, perhaps.
I'm trying to think of what sort of felony property crime would they have to pull her DNA for? All I'm thinking is something like maybe she busted windows on somebody's car or slashed somebody's
ran into the
tires.
Capitol. I don't know, that shit crazy.
Ran into the
right. I mean, like a felony property case. Okay, and where would her DNA been left in such a case? But anyway, so it all sounds fucked up. Though. And my guess is that this woman is a non-black woman. That would be my assumption. Probably. I mean, I
non-black or non-white. You said.
I mean, non-white.
Yeah. But this speaks to this whole mad scientist mentality that they have anyway. That's why whenever my children were born, I let these motherfuckers know, look, I want the placenta. And they always look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you mean? No, we need the placenta. What are you going to do with it? Don't worry about what I'm going to do with it. It's from her body. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is what we have, and we go do what we have to do with it. Because of the fact that they always run a test, they're always fucking with your DNA, they're always dealing with umbilical cord, all that shit. Just getting, experimenting and taking samples and all types of other shit. Next thing you know, you want it for some shit that you didn't even do because of the fact that they got your DNA. They now swipe some shit, did whatever the fuck they do. So I don't trust these motherfuckers at all because of the fact that they have a history.
Welcome out, everybody. Welcome out. Thank you all for tuning into this rerun right here on the Remix Morning Show. We will be back live with all our hosts tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Yo, for the people that's just listening on audio, if y'all ever want some extra entertainment, please go to the chat room because, boy, they be going in. That's how we do right here on the Remix Morning Show. Once again, thank y'all for tuning into this quick rerun. Like I said, we will be back. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and all them different things. Black Power Media and the Remix Morning Show. Peace, everybody. See y'all in the morning. Yep.